Something, guys. So, as you can see, what's behind me. That's what I'm going to be talking about. We'll be talking about the Spanish Brendan Rodgers, Ilkay Gundogan, and Win, which is this new dog that Arsenal got last week or something, or a few days ago. Well, last week, yeah. For the feel good factor, some shit like that. I mean, this is beyond a joke now, but let's talk about this. Sick of them sweatsuits and them corny hats. Let's talk about it. So Arsenal have decided to get their hands on a new dog, right? To add to the training, to bring to the training ground, right? Now I should have covered this already, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna let that slide. I'm just gonna have that because all I'm gonna do is focus on just the games. But the more people talk about it, the more that I think to myself, I can't ignore this. So I'm on Sky Sports, page right now, right? So, and when was this put? It was only a couple of days ago, anyway. Arsenal dog helps players connect. We are family here. This is according to Arteta, aka Spanish Brendan Rodgers. Arsenal manager Spanish Brendan Rodgers explains why he has brought a chocolate Labrador called Win into the training ground and says she has the ability to change the mood in an instant. Why the fuck did that work out then? Because we got smoked by Forest, fam. There's nothing more about that. All right, let me go back then. Um, Mikel Arteta follows up Arsenal's new dog by bringing Olive Tree into team meetings. This is 2 days ago. Is he having a midlife crisis or something? What is this shit? Arsenal manager Spanish Brendan Rodgers continues to think of new ways to try and inspire form out of his players, with his latest attempts involving a chocolate Labrador and an olive tree. You see, when you're out of the ideas now, because what you know from Pep is now dated, past the sell by date. Now you start having a midlife crisis. Now you start doing shit, hoping that something changes. What is this shit? You know what I mean? Is Man City doing this? Was Man City did Man City do anything like this to inspire them to go on a 24 game unbeaten run, 24 straight wins or some shit like that? They need a dog. By now, it is well documented how Arsenal boss Spanish Brendan Rodgers isn't afraid of unconventional methods when it comes to trying to get the best out of his players. The Amazon All or Nothing docu-series from last season showed the Spaniard blaring "You'll Never Walk Alone" on the speakers around a training ground to prepare his side for a daunting trip to Anfield. Well, I can understand why he might do that, but it's never going to be the same as actually being there. But when we were there this season, we were 2-0 up, and we fucked that up, didn't we? He also featured Arteta gathering his stars around the light bulb in the dressing room before one home game. It's clear the Gunners manager likes to think outside the box. His mad methods made news recently when it emerged that Arsenal's most recent addition to the squad was a chocolate Labrador by the name of Win, who spends most of his days at the club's training base in Herefordshire. Why the fuck would you call a dog something that we not doing? You know what I mean? We haven't done this season. You know what I mean? Oh, we've won games. It's the only thing we've won this season. We didn't win any trophies, or did we? The Gunners boss feels that she needs to add the growing feeling of togetherness within the club and helps to continue to make Arsenal feel like one big family. All this sounds like to me is feelings, 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 feelings. When really what should be happening is, lads, let's get down and fucking dirty because we've got a league title to try and win. Oh yeah, we fucked that up now. You know what I mean? Arteta's latest stunt is also sparking discussion as it is being revealed Arsenal manager brought an olive tree into team meetings this season to show his players that growth only comes from when the roots are cared for. Explaining the thought process behind it, the Gunners boss told reporters it's very strong but needs a lot of care. Well, let's see how much time you have, right? because this is your third full season, no trophies. You haven't won no trophies with your own team. You came in and inherited Unai Emery's team. You know what I mean? Usman ain't been touching cup finals since then. You know what I mean? The only cup final we'll probably see at the moment is a Community Shield. Should Man City win the FA Cup? Oh, we're supposed to be proud of that. We have to look after the roots every single day. Make sure they don't get poisoned, don't get damaged, and remain in the right condition. I mean, this is just mind-boggling to me. This is just mind-boggling. You know what I mean? We sign, well, not sign, but we bring in a dog called Wing, right? To just have the feel-good factor, basically. That's all it is. I mean, that's literally all it is. Just some bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, the Spanish Brendan Rodgers, they keep proving me right going forward because he already proved me right the last 2 seasons now that I've been on his case in terms of, I was Arteta out from last season. When he bottled top four, you know what I mean? Sacked off all the competitions. You could, if you're gonna fall off in the Premier League like that, at least win some cups in the meantime. You know what I mean? But you can't even do that. You know what I mean? You can't even do that. Arteta's done nothing to justify still being in a job. Yeah, he's done nothing. We're going top four, mate. And, you know what I mean? Anyways, enough of the dog. Right, Win. What a joke. You know what should have called it? Runner up. That's what they should have called the dog. Runner up. Anyways, let's talk about Ilkay Gundogan, right? We're linked with him. If Pep don't want this guy, right? Why are we going for leftovers again? You know what I mean? Arsenal, if Arsenal was a person, the girl that they fancied in high school, right? They couldn't get her, but now we're adults now. She's been passed around. She's been had trains run on her. She's got kids and she doesn't know who the fathers are. Now you can get her. That's Arsenal. You know what I mean? We wanted grapes, but now everything's been squeezed out of the grape, right? All the juice and everything, all the nutrients, the main nutrients, everything's been squeezed out. Here you go. Now you can have it now as a raisin. So we're gonna sign a 32-year-old. You know what I mean? I thought Usman was chasing youth. Pause. I thought we were chasing, oh, we've got a lot of youth players. We're doing all this and that. But 2-2s now. We signed man like Jorginho in January. You know what I mean? And now we're looking at Gundogan. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He is a good player. But if Pep's willing to let him go Arsenal, sorry, that's how we know that Pep's got other plans. Gundogan's not part of it. And Gundogan will bring what he knows from this season a little bit into Arsenal. And it'll be already outdated. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Bringing in Zinchenko and Jesus, things looked like it was working out. But, you know what I mean? Pep's evolved. You know what I mean? He's evolved. Like, if you've got a Pokemon, if Bulbasaur, right, has evolved into Ivysaur, and it's evolved into Venusaur, right? But you've got some of Ivysaur's powers, right? Because, I don't know, let's just say Ivysaur transferred some of its powers. The rank that he was at as Ivysaur has been transferred over. Now your Bulbasaur has some of Ivysaur's rankings without it being an Ivysaur yet. Now we think we're big teams. 2-2s now, Ivysaur's evolved into Venusaur. Oh shit, how do I deal with this? That's us. That's us. We're dealing with something, and then we turn over our shoulder, oh, pet's evolved. And he'll keep evolving as much as he can. Should he be staying at Man City, doing what he's doing? Now Arteta's out of ideas. Now he thinks, oh, let me get this dog in. You know what I mean? Let me get this dog to add some feel-good factor. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, this club is an absolute joke that this is allowed to fly. I don't know what other club does bullshit like this that's meant to be a big club. Challenging. I don't know. Do Real Madrid and Barcelona do that? Do Atletico Madrid do this? Do Bayern Munich do this? Do Dortmund do this? Does AC Milan do this? Does Inter Milan do this? Does Juventus do this? Does Napoli do this? Does Porto do this? Does Sporting do this? Who does Ajax do this? Who else does shit like this? You know what I mean? So as for Gundogan, I don't want him because Pep doesn't want him. And if Pep don't want him, that's suspect to me and any other Arsenal fan that's not naive. I don't want him. You know what I mean? Because Arteta, if Arteta feels the only way he can get somewhere is let me take some of Pep's residue, I'm sorry. Does that not tell you he's not the one? You know what I mean? Or let me get your leftovers. You know what I mean? No, fam. No. I don't want none of that. Go sign some talent. We're in the Champions League now, right? And now what we want to do is sign some leftovers. Now let me get onto the transfer talk, right? Let me get on that because I would say there's a whole link up with. Well, we're meant to be getting Declan Rice. Talks of Caicedo. We know that the whole world's going to be linked to Arsenal anyway. But obviously, Gundogan's the latest addition to that. Well, one thing I can 100% guarantee you and probably bet my whole life savings on is that we're not going to get Gundogan, Rice, and Caicedo, right? So that's one thing I can guarantee you. Another thing is we're not getting Rice. He's not going to end up being an Arsenal player. He's going to get snatched up by one of the Premier League clubs. Caicedo, that's not going to happen. Gundogan, if Pep is actually willing to let him go, I can see Gundogan being an Arsenal player before Caicedo and Rice. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of shit I think is going to happen. It's going to be Jorginho Part 2. And what do I mean by Jorginho Part 2? We were linked with these younger players, but sorry, I'm going to settle for this oldie. Basically, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Gundogan's 33 this year. You know what I mean? You got Caicedo, he's in his early 20s. Declan Rice is in his early 20s and mid 20s. You know what I mean? But we're not going to get all three, and we're definitely not getting Rice or Caicedo. But if we do, more midfielders are coming out of this club. That's what's going to happen. And then, as I said in my last videos, what's going to happen is we're going to be praying that Rice doesn't get injured. If let's say it's Rice, we sign Rice. I can't see Jorginho staying here, so I think he's only here till the end of this year, the end of this month, I think, or maybe January. So I don't know. He's not going to be here. El Nene, waste of time now. I know he's injured, but you know, Thomas Partey, I won't put it past a move happening there where he just randomly ups and leaves. We just randomly sell him. I won't put it past that happening. So that means Lokonga's going to come back from Crystal Palace off his loan. We've still got Fabio Vieira. And let's just say we sign Rice. You know what I mean? I'm telling you right now, this transfer window, what we do in this transfer window is not going to be enough to try and compete in the Champions League. You know what I mean? It's not going to be enough. We ain't going to do enough, and we're not going to sign what we need. And if anything, we need another centre back. You know what I mean? So that's 7 players that instead of 6. Because I tipped 6. I said 6 will be. We get these 6 players, whatever. This is what we can do. But no, you see, I'd say another centre back. Because I'm saying a right back to compete with Ben White. But then again, Arteta's saying that Ben White is looking to put him back at centre back, right, as cover now, and then add another right back in there. That's what Arteta's thinking of doing with him. But I'm saying, get another right back, get another centre back, get another left back, get 2 midfielders, get a right winger, and get a tall striker. We get those 7. And all players that would start, some that would bench, but would definitely see games. Not no Lokonga bullshit where you're not good enough and then you're not going to see games. Not no Fabio Vieira bullshit. Nope. There's involvement. Seven players. You know what I mean? That's just more than half of what's on the pitch. You know what I mean? That's like a second team almost. You know what I mean? We get 7 good players in all those positions I just mentioned, right? You know what I mean? But I know for what position that we sign, somebody's coming out and it's going to make it lighter. That's what's going to happen. And then it's going to be a case of, well, if so and so gets injured, then we're fucked. To not be in that position, you need to have players that already can fill that position. For being able to rest a player. Oh, I'm not going to play you in this game. Play you this game. Arteta overplayed Bukayo Saka this season, and I've been saying since West Ham game that take him out, bench him for a bit. You know what I mean? Have him on the bench and start Trossard. You know what I mean? But no, Trossard, man of the match of March, starts against Leeds 1st of April, doesn't start a game since. He only started against Forest because Martinelli's injured. That's it. That's all. You know what I mean? And the thing is with the Spanish Brendan Rodgers, the audacity to bench Kieran Tierney to opt for Granit Xhaka at left back. That is just, if I start slapping the face, I don't know why he's. I mean, people saying it was Kiwior that was at left back and Partey was playing as a inverted right back. I mean, the experimenting this deep in when the least we could have done is just put it on Man City. Look, we've beaten Forest, so now you've got to beat Chelsea, kind of thing. The least we could have done, but no, we didn't. Nope. I mean, and you think that him doing that next season he's not going to do something as equally as stupid or even worse? If Arteta, who hasn't won a trophy in any of his full seasons at Arsenal, if he can do that, what else could he do? If he can not play a left back because he didn't feel like it, to play somebody else that can cover there instead, right? If he can do that and start faffing about with the teams, you really trust this guy in the Champions League with this team? I saw a video on TalkSport. One of an Arsenal fan rang in and said to Laura Woods that, saying to them all that, Arteta's not good enough, basically, and he wants him out. And Laura Woods replied saying about how we haven't seen Arteta in the Champions League yet. Excuse fucking me, but have you seen Arteta in all competitions for the past 3 fucking seasons? Have you seen his decision makings in all competitions? We don't have to see him in the Champions League. We know what's going to happen in the Champions League. So to turn around and say, well, we haven't seen him in the Champions League, I don't want to fucking see it. You know what I mean? 8 points clear in January. City had no game in hands. Jorginho was a signing. Had another shit window when we had a chance to pull even further. You know what I mean? We had a chance to really stick it on them, and we ultimately paid the price. His decision makings of the team that starts in the League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, you could tell it was him throwing it away essentially to try and just win the league. His decision making to sign Kiwior, but I'm going to play Rob Holding instead. His decision to sign Zinchenko, being this inverted left back when he's clearly shown us he's good at getting forward, making passes, controlling, you know, having control of the ball and the game going forward. But clearly defensively he's woeful. And we've clearly conceded goals from his side and he's not in the picture, right? But Arteta still persists on playing him. Those decisions, yeah, we've seen those. Saka is having stinkers, but he's starting every game. What about that decision then? Trossard, man of the month, player of the month for March, doesn't start a game in April apart from the first April Fool's Day. What kind of decisions is that? I won't play Kieran Tierney at left back against Forest. I'll play Kiwior there or Granit Xhaka there, and I'll also put Partey as an inverted right back. What kind of shit is that? I signed Kiwior, but it's only when we fucked up the league. Now I'll play at centre back because that's what I signed you to do that. I made a new signing, but one of my pony centre backs still plays ahead of you. And Laura Woods is there saying we haven't seen him in the Champions League. We don't have to see him in the Champions League. Look, I've just listed everything he fucking did in the league, well, all competitions, but especially the league, that should tell you that you should be if you're looking forward to the Champions League because you think we're gonna do something, you should be dreading it because he's gonna make some goofy ass decisions in the Champions League. You know what I mean? But we're supposed to be excited because Arteta's got us in the Champions League. You know what I mean? Out of all those things I just listed, the of decisions that he made, you think that he's going to do something in the fucking Champions League? Jesus Christ. Let me just throw Kiwi on when the league's done. When we could have played him when Saliba got injured instead of playing Holding. Let me just play Granit Xhaka at left back, even though Kieran Tierney's a left back. But I know you can go on the bench. Let me play Partey as an inverted right back because I don't know why we didn't do that in any other games this season. You know what I mean? Let me just keep playing Saka, even though he's dropping stinkers after stinkers after stinkers. Oh, wait, let me bench Trossard for the whole of April, apart from April Fool's Day, even though he was player of the month for March. But you trust him in the Champions League. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't care about it. So what should be the way forward? Get rid of Arteta and get a manager in that knows what they're doing. Get a proper manager in. Arteta, the Spanish Brendan Rodgers is not it. You know what I mean? It's not it. Liverpool nearly won the league in 2014 with Brendan Rodgers, right? Then look what happened after that. That's us. Then they got rid of him, and look what they've got now. Klopp, who won a Premier League title, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup. You know what I mean? Don't think that Liverpool are going to be staying like this because they're not. You know what I mean? Because they're not. They ain't staying like this. You know what I mean? We get rid of the Spanish Brendan Rodgers, we can get somebody else in that can do a better job. Because Arteta, Spanish Brendan Rodgers, he can't take us any further. Don't you think it's a bit of an overreaction? He made us challenge for the league, which was meant to challenge in the first place. It's not an overreaction because you look at his full 3 seasons. how he's thrown away all the cup competitions, the way he bottled top four, and I actually predicted we'd bottle the league in the same manner as we did top four. And then you look, it's his decision makings. You know what I mean? His decision makings while we were in this title race. If we'd have, see, it's not the case that we didn't win the league, it's the manner of how we bottled it and his decision makings. You know what I mean? If it was a case of, we won all our games, but Man City, they were winning all theirs, and we finished a point behind them because of it or whatever. You know what I mean? I could have given him some leeway, even though he threw away all the cup competitions. I could have given him some leeway for that. But the draw, the shit transfer windows, can't get his team to beat Everton at Goodison Park, right? Can't even beat Brentford at home, right? Couldn't beat Man City at home at least. 2-0 up against West Ham, 2-0 up against Liverpool, 3-3 against Southampton. Brighton Munich came and smoked us. And then we go to Forest and he makes all these goofy ass changes to the team. And you want this to manage the team in the Champions League. He also made our players better. But did he make these players win anything? Because the same players that were supposed to be so good, for the ones that were playing last season as well, all played shit at this point last season when we bought top four. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting fooled by none of this. Oh, well, he's made some players improve. You know what I mean? End of the day, you know what I mean? We didn't win anything. We threw away all cup competitions. And then you look at his decision makings that's making him look like he's having a midlife crisis. Not good enough. You know what I mean? Him and Brendan Rodgers have won the same thing in England. You know what I mean? Both won FA Cups. Both won the Community Shield. You know what I mean? But it's all right. It's all right. People won't see it now. Some people are a year behind. You know what I mean? If anyone supports Arteta, you're a year behind. You know what I mean? I can practically see what's coming. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna do good in the Champions League, and to be honest, I don't give a shit about getting out of the group because this fan base doesn't deserve to see all that, because I know that just being in the Champions League is enough for a lot of this fan base. We play best brand of football in England. I don't care about how we play. I care about winning. I personally have wanted a defensive manager since Wenger was here. I said, let's get someone that's defensive. Because defense, since we got rid of the George Graham era, since the George Graham defense retired, let me just say, right? Since they retired, defense has been our issue. But we've been looking good attacking wise. I don't care about playing the best brand of football. I would take boring football to win trophies. Don't care about fancy football, none of that bollocks. You know what I mean? Don't care. I want to win. You know what I mean? I don't care how we do it. If it was a boxing fight, you don't care, or you shouldn't care about trying to look good and this, that. You just care about winning. Even if you have to be on the back foot and just guard and counter attack. You know what I mean? Same principle here. You know what I mean? So all this, we'll play good football, don't care. You know what I mean? But nobody, not many Arsenal fans want to see a defensive manager managing Arsenal because, it's negative. You know what I mean? What's negative is what's currently going on. That's negative. You know what I mean? Being 8 points clear, City having no game in hands, and then we're what? How many points behind them now? 7? Hang on a minute. We 7 points behind them now because we lost to Forest, didn't we? Let me have a look. Yeah, we're 7 points behind. You will not see it. 7 points behind Man City. That's negative. And City still have a game in hand. So they beat Brighton. They'll go on to 91 points. That's 10-point lead. And then they win their last game. So the maximum points they can finish on is 94. Yeah, 94 points. And if we don't beat Wolves, that's what, 15 points or 14 points, isn't it? Ridiculous. That's negative. But this same ass fan base will be the one saying, "Oh no, I don't want a defensive manager because it's negative." Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Like Liverpool this season, maybe City may fall off next season after challenging every trophy. We came so close this year, and we may actually win the thing next year. Let's be optimistic. Now you see, but what you're not thinking about is all the teams around us. They are going to be doing business. That's what people are missing out. People think that it's just going to be us and Man City next season. No, because Liverpool are definitely going to improve. They ain't going to want to be like this. You know what I mean? This was Liverpool's drop off. You know what I mean? Man City might have their drop off next season, but who's going to fill it? You know what I mean? Because if anything, we took Liverpool's place this season. That's all we did. Because Liverpool dropped off. That was their drop off this season. Now they're gonna make the repairs that needed, right? Chelsea, they're gonna be spending money, and they've got Poch coming in now, so they're gonna try and do something. Spurs will be Spurs. You never know what they'll do. Man U are definitely gonna want to rectify, the wrongdoings of this season in terms of their way form and everything like that. And they're gonna be challenging for the league. Um, Newcastle will have Champions League, but I don't expect them to be in a title race. But again, all the teams around us are going to improve. We're going to have another shit window. We'll sign a player that we're going to gas up, and then we're going to pray that same player doesn't get injured, because then we'll have to rely on the shit that's there to cover him. Because we're not going to have that kind of window where we sign multiple players, and then it's like, oh, well, if that player gets injured, we've got this one coming in. You know what I mean? We're not going to have a moment where, oh, well, Jesus got injured, and then it was Nketiah that just happened to have this decent form. You know what I mean? It's just not going to go like that. You know what I mean? So it's all good saying, oh, well, bringing up the Liverpool thing, but they have their drop off. Their drop off was this season, and it ain't going to be like that next season for them. You know what I mean? And we're the ones that's. I'm telling you, we're going to compete for Crystal. We're going to be competing with Crystal Palace next season. You know what I mean? I'm not even predicting top four finish next season, but I tell you what, the Champions League, I don't give a shit about it anyway, because I know we're going to do fuck all in it. I'd give a shit about competition if I knew we were going to do something in it. We're just happy to be in it. That's the problem. This fan base is happy to be in it. We don't. So that's why I don't want us being in something that I know this fan base is just going to be content with that, because they don't care about winning anything as long as we'll play Champions League. You know what I mean? If we're in the Champions League, we get out of the group stage. We'll get someone hard anyway. That's if we get out of the group, because we'll have a hard group probably, right? We ain't gonna win that competition. No way, Jose Enrique, right? But this fan base will just be happy to be in it. So the longer we're in it, the fans won't give a shit about anything else. You know what I mean? So playing Champions League, let's get kicked down into Europa League or something, because we'll have more chance of winning that if we're going to win a European trophy than anything. I don't give a shit. This fan base doesn't deserve it. This toxic positive fan base does not deserve to see Arsenal in the Champions League. Because I know the only way this fan base is going to have any sort of issue is if Arteta fucks up in the Champions League. That's the only way. That's the only way. Because if Arteta has a Wenger type Champions League run, get to the last 16, get kicked out, then gets top four next season, this fan base is going to be okay with it, and nothing will change. Nothing will change. That is going to be the biggest issue. After finishing fifth, we didn't fall off. We finished second next. We're improving season after season. We have UCL this year. We might attract even better players. These are good signs. Nope. See, that's that naivety kicking in again, right? You could say Arsenal did good to be getting up to second, but you look at our recent form, that was very much of what the last 3 years was. So yeah, we're thankful that between August and March that we were on the form that we were on, because that's really what got us second. We're improving season after season. Where we're finishing the table improves, but in terms of actually winning a trophy, we still haven't done that yet. Arteta hasn't done that yet in his full 3 seasons. We have Champions League this year. We might attract even better players. Attract who? I mean, like you don't need Champions League to get good players. I mean, and like Man U have shown that, Chelsea have shown that. I mean, Liverpool have shown. Well, no, I wouldn't say Liverpool, but even still, I mean, Champions League's not the end all and be all in attracting players. If you pay the money, got a blocked nose. If you pay the money, you'll get the players. That's how it works. But this whole thing about it's good signs. You know what I mean? When Liverpool finished second in 2014, that was good signs. Look at them. You know what I mean? And what was their problem? Defense. I mean, they didn't have the ball, so they got rid of Brendan Rodgers and brought Copy. You know what I mean? So we need to get rid of the Spanish Brendan Rodgers and get ourselves a Klopp. That's what we need to do. He's not the guy. Arteta's not the guy. Arteta's not going to be the man that wins the Champions League. He ain't going to be the manager that's going to win the Premier League, because we won't get another shot like this now. Somebody else is taking it. You know what I mean? Somebody else is taking it now. You know what I mean? If Man City drop off next year, you know, I won't say how Liverpool have, but you know, if they do drop off, kind of like they did in 2020, got some injuries, somebody else is taking that spot. Not going to be us. So any alternatives for Arteta? I don't see too many better than him. What, so in Ancelotti better than him? Isn't Diego Simeone better than him? You know what I mean? Isn't I don't know the manager in my head then. Ain't Antonio Conte better than him? Isn't what's someone else had? Oh, Luis Enrique. Options. Those are options. Those are options, right? Jose Mourinho. Those are options. You know what I mean? It's just our fans are treating Spanish Brendan Rodgers as if he's the end all and be all. As if, well, if we don't have him, then we can't do anything. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not the end all and be all. It's just not. But you know, Arteta's not the guy to take us forward. You know what I mean? He's just not. But this fan base is content with him. They're just happy with it. They're happy. He's got us top 4, so now we should just shut up and be happy, basically. So when he fucks up in the Champions League next season, right? I'll be looking forward to seeing what they're all going to say, because that's all it's going to take. That's all it will take. That's the only thing it will take. Fuck up in the Champions League. Fuck up in the group stages. Get smoked. Get kicked out. Maybe out of Europe completely, or in Europa League. I don't know if you can get kicked down in that third one from the Champions League. I don't think you can. I think it's Europa League that does that. But should Arteta fuck up in the Champions League, which I think he will, he won't get out of the group. That should be enough to have this fan base like, you know what, fam? I don't think Arteta's the man. But if he gets out of the Champions League group, right? If he gets out of the group, the fans will be okay with that, even if and when we get kicked out of the last 16 or the quarterfinals, if we're lucky enough to get that far. You know what I mean? But as long as we get out the group, right, this fan base will just be happy, providing we then go and get top four again. You know what I mean? I don't mind being in the Champions League if we win something and then we've come in there as a champion. But just getting it because, oh, well, we're finishing top four, that's that kind of shit I don't like. If we'd have won a trophy, you know what I mean? I'd have been like, well, we're champions of something, and we're going into the Champions League with already, with the mindset of we are winners. So let's see what we can do here. But we're in the Champions League off, being a loser, basically. And this fan base is happy with it. That's what makes being in the Champions League worse, because it's that's having the fans be like this. Do you want Conte here? After 2 seasons, he leaves the house after burning it down. Well, nothing says that he would. I mean, that he would burn it down, because I know you're thinking about what he did at Spurs, but you put Pep at Spurs, he won't win anything, because it's just in Spurs' DNA. I mean, Conte and Mourinho won trophies at every single club they've managed, apart from Tottenham. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say no to Conte. I wouldn't say no. You know what I mean? I think he could do something with this team more than what Arteta, Spanish Brendan Rodgers, can. You know what I mean? But my honest opinion, I'd give Luis Enrique a shot. You know what I mean? Carlo Ancelotti or Luis Enrique. Give them a shot. You know what I mean? They'll be the ones I would want to go for. But Spanish Brendan Rodgers, it's not it. Nope, he's not it. He just can't do it. Can't do it. And he wants Gundogan. He wants Gundogan. Good player. But if Pep don't want him, I don't want him. Arsenal fans shouldn't want him. The club shouldn't want him. If Pep don't want him. You know what I mean? We already saw he sold us Zinchenko and Jesus. And I said back in April, in fact, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up. I didn't prep it in the in the StreamYard, but I'm gonna bring it up. I called this. Told man about Jesus. Told man. Look, man, I like you. We all are sad about how the season ended, but whatever we saw this year shouldn't be discredited. Same might come for Arteta, Pep leaves. He's that good. Believe me, we are fine. See again. I don't know what you're seeing, because what I've seen is the same capitulation as last season. You know what I mean? He capitulated in the same manner as last season. You know what I mean? It's just glorified because we're finished second. And that's what's going wrong here. Is everyone's looking at that we finished second. Well, let me bring up my what I said about Jesus. Right? You're about to see it, but no, you can't see it because of the thing. But he's a Brazilian Welbeck. Let me have a little rant about this, right? Understand that I don't really rate Gabriel Jesus. I don't. I don't think he's a shit striker or anything like that. And this was 23rd of April 2022. We're about to see it, but when I let go of my finger, you might see the date in the corner. Like, signing him, because let's face it, if we're gonna sign him, we're probably gonna get rid of Lacazette. You know what I mean? So we're signing an add-on basically, because that's what he is to Man City. He's just an add-on. I mean, Man City don't rely on this guy. You know what I mean? Man City are the type. Well, Gabriel Jesus is a type where Man City go 3 up and he makes it 4. You know what I mean? He's the add-on. You know, if you download the game from the PlayStation Store, Xbox Live Store, whatever, right? You download the game and then you get the add-on that comes with it for whatever it is. You don't get the add-on without getting the game. That's what Gabriel Jesus is. He's an add-on. He's an add-on into Man City's team. You know what I mean? Man City can do more than good enough not having him. You know what I mean? Right, when you think about what everything that Arsenal want to do, I don't think Gabriel Jesus alone is the answer. He's not no Van Persie. Van Persie in 2011-12 season, you think Gabriel Jesus carries us to top four the way Van Persie did that season? You know? Let's not beat around the bush. Jesus did not carry us to top four this season. Everybody contributed. He was injured for a large chunk of the season, and we didn't even miss him that much. So look at when you think about that, I was still right that Jesus doesn't actually carry us to top four the way Van Persie did in 2012. These are things that when you're an Arsenal supporter, at least you have to think about these things when your club's been linked with a certain striker. You know what I mean? You have to think of what you know what I mean? Because people, it's easy to look at, oh, he's that Man City won all these trophies, mate. It's easy to say that, but he was an add-on. I mean, he ain't no Van Persie of 2012 that carried Arsenal to the top four. I mean, if Man City are 1-0 down, right? In 70 minutes, still 1-0 down, right? If they win 3-1, Gabriel Jesus scores the third goal. That's, you know what I mean? That's what you call an add-on. Because Man City were going to win the game, probably, had he not. Now, I'm not saying Gabriel Jesus has had moments Man City where he's been effective or anything like that, but he's you know what I mean? 2-0 down, you're not thinking about, oh, Jesus is going to get a hat-trick. But you think that about players like... And he hasn't scored a hat-trick for us yet. Mane or something, you know what I mean? That's just... Understand, this was 23rd of April, 4 o'clock that day. I think that was a Sunday. I said this. This is when we were linked with Jesus. But ironically, that day, he scored 4 goals for Man City against Watford, I think it was. Okay. I mean, it's easy to beat off over Jesus because he's Brazilian. That's basically what it is. You know what I mean? That's what has my I'm leaking. You get me? Wanting to spray kids all over the place. The fact that he's Brazilian, that's basically it. And he's scoring goals and stuff. But I mean, I haven't, from what I've seen of him, nah. I won't be gassed if, say, Arsenal was to sign him. You know what I mean? Just like I wasn't gassed when we got David Luiz. I mean, I just don't see him that way. And as it says there, I ripped into Jesus and he scores 4 goals today. I don't think you can see that, but he scored 4 goals that day. Let me just... But yeah. I knew it wasn't going to be enough. I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to be enough. And I saw that. Let's not forget last season we got rid of 2 strikers across both windows. Got rid of Aubameyang and Lacazette. And who do we sign to be our main striker? Jesus. I mean, but thankfully we didn't need to rely on him. I mean, because everybody else was scoring and Nketiah was scored a few goals while Jesus was out. I mean, because it used to be Aubameyang and Lacazette that was our strikers. So, should we sign Rice or Caicedo? Because we ain't getting both. If we're only getting one of them. If we get any of them, I don't think we're getting any of them 2, but we're only getting one. That's why I'm ambitious to get both. You know what I mean? But you best believe there's going to be a chunk of players coming out, and then we're going to be light again. You know what I mean? It's going to be. I'm telling you, I made predictions. I even knew the Saliba was going to get injured this season and it was going to cripple us. The only thing I got wrong was the month. Because I said it'll probably happen around October time or something and it'll cripple our season. But no, it happened in fucking March. You know what I mean? The fact that it fucking happened at all pissed me off. But I knew that was going to happen. Because I've seen this pattern before. I've seen this before. You know what I mean? Like, there's a pattern that happens every season with Arsenal, pretty much. I'll never forget, and I mentioned this in my previous videos. I'll never forget Unai Emery's season first season, Rob Holding was basically our best defender, right? And then we played against Man U at Old Trafford when we drew 2-2 when Lingard turned into fucking Zidane, right? That game, Rob Holding got injured. I think at that time, I think we 1-1 at that time because Lingard kept scoring after we fucking scored. Rob Holding got injured in that game. And then defensively we got worse defensively. Him under Unai Emery, he was one of our best defenders. And he got injured in that 2-2 draw against Man U at Old Trafford. And then he was injured for a month, I think a month or two or something like that. Or it might have been like half the season or something. You know what I mean? It happens. Got a blocked nose. It happens. So yeah, but anyways, I'm done with this. I'm done with this video. Let me see if I got. Anyways, I'm done with this video. Like the video, share the videos, comment, subscribe, follow all the socials, and yeah, club's an absolute shambles. You know, yeah, Gundogan is a possibility, which I think is laughable. You know what I mean? But anyways, catch you guys in a bit. Peace.